Now that New Year's is just right around the corner, I thought this would be the perfect video to do. And today I will be sharing unhealthy habits that are stopping you from losing weight. So these are particularly 8 mistakes that I made on my quest to weight loss. If you guys have been watching me for a while, I have been on a weight loss journey this year. I gained weight during the whole pandemic and I gained a little over 20-ish pounds. And I'm happy to say that I've lost all that weight plus a little more. And I definitely learned a lot of things throughout this journey of weight loss and learned what was working and what wasn't working. And the most frustrating thing during a weight loss journey is definitely when you feel like you are seeing no results. But it wasn't until I changed these habits I will be talking about is when I saw the huge weight loss come off and how I've been able to sustain it. Number 1 is confusing low calorie foods for being healthy. So there are so many buzzwords that you see on food packages today, including low cal, only 100 calories, and even other buzzwords including fat-free, low-fat, sugar-free, gluten-free, organic, all natural, and these are all buzzwords to get you interested in wanting to purchase it, making you think that it may be healthier than it actually is. So just because something is low calorie as well, doesn't mean that it is healthy and doesn't mean that it is going to give you those health benefits. It's not all about the calories per se, and I definitely had to learn this. It is better to eat something that is maybe higher in calorie, but you're going to get more nutritious value from it than something that is just 100 calories, but it is not healthy for you at all. You're just eating it to eat it just because it says that it is low calorie. Something that I had to start doing, and I didn't see results until I started learning and doing this, and that is reading the nutrition label. On the back of your food packages, there is a nutrition label, and this tells you so much. It will tell you all of the ingredients in it, which ones are the higher concentrated ingredients, which are the first few ingredients listed, and it will tell you your nutritional value and nutritional facts. So how much sugar is in it, how much unhealthy fat there is, how much sodium is in an item, and all of that. So it's important to read more the back of the label. So I learned you're going to get more information by reading the back of a label than just looking for those buzzwords on packages. That is a tactic to sell their product. So just keeping that in mind, I definitely learned that, and I realized that just because something says all natural or organic, I really start to read the back of the ingredient list and see how much unnecessary things are added into it that are actually not the greatest for you, but you think it is good for you just by reading the all natural, organic, low calorie label. Number 2 is you're focusing way too much on exercise as opposed to food. So this is something that I definitely learned. Beginning of August 2021 to even December, I was working out hardcore. I was having really great workouts at the gym. I was killing it, but I wasn't really giving my all when it came to the food, and I was wondering why I wasn't losing weight. It wasn't until I made a whole mindset change in January of 2022 where I saw the pound shed off. So no matter how much I worked out and how hard I tried, I could not outtrain my bad diet. We tend to overestimate how many calories we're actually burning during our exercise. So even if you go for a 30-minute jog, that might only be 300 calories. You feel like you are burning so much more than that, but you really aren't. And most of your calories are actually burnt during your BMR, which I believe is pronounced basal metabolic rate, and that is your resting phase. While building your muscle can boost your BMR, it can only do so much if you don't go ahead and change your diet. I really do believe in that percentage of 70-30 or even 80-20 where your diet is really crucial and definitely more important than exercise, and I really learned that this year. Of course, being active and exercising is great. You're going to build muscle, you will help with weight loss as well, but until you change that diet, until you really start focusing on what you eat in the kitchen is when you really will start seeing those results that you want. And that's when I started started really seeing the results that I wanted is when I started to change my diet and eat healthier foods, and just learning more about nutrition and what is good for the body, what's not so great, which ingredients are really beneficial, which ones aren't so much. And that leads me to number 3, which is you are eating too little. Definitely there were moments in my fitness journey where I was eating way too little and thinking that was enough for my body when it really wasn't. By not eating enough during the day, it is associated with overeating at the night, and that is exactly what I found myself doing. If I found that I wasn't eating enough food, I was just overindulging at night, or I would the next day just overeat till the point where I felt way too full. And also by eating too little and calorie restriction over time, it's going to lead to a slower metabolism. So you are just doing more bad than good for your body at all. You may think that that's going to make you lose weight faster, but in the long term, it's really going to harm you physically, and also it is not great mentally. It's not good also restricting, and I've really learned that because for myself personally, restricting just does not work. It's not healthy, and it also just led me to having an unhealthy relationship with food where I just would overindulge when I was in front of those foods that I was restricting from. So that is why I really learned that restricting just doesn't work, and it's all about moderation, balance, and portion control. If your body also doesn't have enough fuel to do its basic functions, it ends up working to conserve energy and not burn it. In order to keep your body in fat burning mode, you need to make sure that you are eating your protein, your fiber, your healthy fats. Fiber really fills you up by slowing your digestion. By incorporating more protein into your diet, this suppresses ghrelin, which is the hormone that tells you that you are hungry. So it's important to incorporate those healthy food groups into every single meal that you eat. Number 4 is overindulging on cheat days. So something I learned for me is cheat days just do not work for me. They may work for some, but for others, they just don't work. And if you're anything like me, this became an unhealthy habit where I would have a cheat day, and that would lead to an entire cheat day where I would overindulge because I knew it was a cheat day, and that led me to not feeling good. I always felt guilty. I was overeating to the point where I was way too full, and I was just really taking advantage of having a cheat day, and it kind of would end up really getting rid of the progress that I was making. And also this was leading me to having an unhealthy relationship with food, to be completely honest. It just became a day for me to overindulge, which led to a bad habit. So I definitely had to stop. And like I said before, I had to learn that it's okay to eat those foods that aren't quote unquote the healthiest, but it's all about balance, portion control, and not restricting. And for me, cheat meals was definitely leading to a restricting habit because I was restricting certain foods until I had that cheat day, and then I would overindulge on those foods. And if I just incorporate it in smaller portions in my actual diet, I wouldn't feel the need to overindulge. When you have foods in your mind that you feel like you can never touch again, it leads to this unhealthy relationship where you end up feeling like you need to overeat it when you do have it in front of you. Then if you just had a healthy mindset where you incorporated even those foods that aren't obviously the best for you. Like I said, you really have to just learn that balance and learn that it's okay to sometimes have something that isn't the best for you as long as it is in moderation. Number 5 is distracted eating. This was an unhealthy habit that I realized I was doing a lot of. This just means eating while you are distracted. So whether you are eating while watching TV, while texting, while on the computer, or talking to someone on the phone, when you are distracted eating, you tend to overeat and not realize when you are full, and you may actually be more full than you are. So whenever I eat, I really try to make an effort to not do this because I know for myself, I overeat when I am talking to someone, or if I'm watching TV, I'm just mindlessly eating and not really focusing on my food, and then I end up overeating and thinking I'm not full when I am. What helped me with this is just going to my kitchen table and just taking time where I put away my socials, put away the TV, and just really be in the moment and enjoy your food and kind of have a separation when you are eating constantly while watching TV, or eating even in your bed, or you're eating while you are talking on the phone, and you end up making these habits that you're just so used to eating when doing these things, or even eating when you are feeling emotional, whether that's sad or happy or stressed. I found that by doing this, you end up creating this bad habit, and then you feel like when you're doing those things, you feel like you need to eat because you're used to eating while watching TV, or eating while talking to someone on the phone, or eating when you're feeling sad. So I found what works best for me is having a separate place where I just eat my food, enjoy it, and that is it. And that is at my kitchen table, just eating my breakfast, my lunch, and dinner there. Number 6 is not getting enough sleep. Staying up and not getting enough sleep can really tank your weight loss, and you don't realize that it really does affect your weight loss. There's so many studies that show that people that sleep less tend to struggle with weight, or tend to be a little bit more overweight. And that is because sleep is so important, and we tend to downplay it in this fast-paced world where we feel like there's not enough hours in the day. So we're constantly doing so many things, and we tend to sacrifice our sleep because there's just so many things to do in a day. I realized that when I would sleep too little, it would trigger my appetite. So if I got no sleep the next day, I would be so hungry, and I'd want those sugars and carbs and just unhealthy foods because I felt like I was so hungry because I was so sleep deprived. By not sleeping enough, it just makes it so much harder to stick to healthy eating habits. So it's important to really try to get your sleep in every single day. And I had to switch my routine when I started my weight loss, where I made sure to get 8 hours of sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single day, as much as possible. Number 7 is unrealistic goals. I had such unrealistic goals when I first went into my fitness journey, and it's changed so much the older I've gotten. We're all different. We all have different bodies, different genetics, different everything. So our journeys are all going to be different, and our bodies are all going to be different as well. So what works for someone might not work for another, or as well as you can only morph your body so much. You are going to have certain things that are you, and also maybe genetic, and that is okay. Don't look at others or people on social media or curated content that makes people look so perfect and they don't even look like that. It's important to just focus on yourself, your own body, and your own journey, and to just not look at those unrealistic goals. And I realized those baby steps are really gonna help you sustain a healthy lifestyle. So going for quick and fast is not going to lead to a sustained healthy lifestyle. You want to try and make little changes so that it becomes something that you are able to do the rest of your life. And sometimes it will be slow, and that is okay. It's not only a physical thing when you are trying to lose weight, but you have to also just change your mindset. And you have to give yourself grace and be patient, and not be so hard on yourself, and get rid of that negative self-talk. And the last one is not committed. So like I said, there was a time from August 2021 till December, I'd say, where I was killing it at the gym. I was giving it 100%. I was eating clean most days, but then on the weekends, it was like a free-for-all for me. And I was not getting any results, and I was so frustrated because I was waking up every morning to go to the gym early, and I was killing it, and I was making little changes. But deep down, I knew that I wasn't giving it 100% in all aspects. I may have been giving it 100% for my working out, but I was only giving 50% in the kitchen, and I wasn't fully committed, and I didn't want to accept that. And it wasn't until I went into the new year where I realized that I need to make changes. I'm not losing weight, and I had to take a step back and really come to the self-realization of why I wasn't, and I deep down knew that I could do a little bit more when it came to especially my diet. You have to take it seriously. Weight loss is not easy. It can be a really slow progress. It can also be really frustrating. If it was easy, then everyone would do it. So you need to really put your all into it and really be committed and make those changes and change your mindset as well. You cannot put in a little bit of effort or a weak effort and expect the results that you want, and you can't get big results by putting one foot in. You have to have 2 feet in and you really have to commit to it, and you really need to try and change your unhealthy habits in order to get that weight loss result. Those are all the unhealthy habits that I had to stop in order to get the weight loss that I was looking for and wanted, and also just to change my whole lifestyle in general. I wanted to be healthier, and I wasn't feeling my best when I started my weight loss journey, and I knew that I needed that change. So these are all the things that I did have to change, and these are the bad habits that I was in that really made a difference once I did change these things. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thumbs it up if you liked it. I will link down below my fitness playlist. I have a ton of fitness content in there. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. I do post every single Tuesday and Thursday. And on that note, I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.